that, but you're just happy to see him when he's having success for sure.
Jay?
Yeah, we've talked about how you knew early on that he was a ball player, but just the progression that he's made as a player is just really stunning. Like, how much work have you guys done behind the scenes, but how much of that is him?
Yeah, I mean, it's Jason Maxio down in the G League, I thought did a marvelous job with him. Then he comes up and Darius Adams kept working, and it's him. He's putting in the work. I mean, he's working on his left hand, on his right hand, on miking, on floaters, on shooting, on free throws, on every aspect of his game, and then just the defensive verticalities and understanding when he reads, and he gives us the ability to switch 1 through 5 sometimes, and just the impact at the rim and protecting the paint is huge. But you see something you don't know really, because you got to get out there versus NBA players, and you have to compete and play. And it was sad for him when he sprained his ankle, because I thought he was just hitting the stride. I think these last couple of games have really been the Dylan that we've grown to love. Prior, he was working his way back and finding his rhythm, and these last couple of games, he's just that he's out there, and that's the gravity that we love about him.
When it comes to the game, obviously third quarter they really pulled away, but you obviously kept the kind of the minutes short for some of these vets. Just how did you kind of see that second half kind of play out for you guys?
Just trying to go with the young players and allowing them to get in those moments again. That's a team that needs to win, and I believe Kawhi played the whole first quarter, so they were, for them, those are, Kawhi is as good as it gets in our league. So understanding the physicality, getting to the spot, all the different things that would Neek guarding him, DeQuan guarding him, it's invaluable. But the result is not obviously what we want. But yeah, you got to make free throws. We were 10 for 20, and then we were 1 for 18 from 3 in the second half. And I thought we got some decent looks. We just didn't knock them down, but they were produced by the right type of action. And that's probably the most important thing for me, is that means they're playing the right way, sharing the ball, making it. Some nights you will, some nights you won't.
DeMar, since the second half, have you made a decision? Are we going to see him in these last 3 games?
No, I mean, in the second half, it was more about just kind of going with the young players and that. I mean, now I'm sure we'll see DeMar. He's a hooper. He likes to hoop. So I would, yeah. But wow, Oscar Robertson. Yeah, that's as big as it gets in this game, and we gotta pay homage to a kid that has worked his butt off and found his way in this league. And you look at him all these years later, after growing up at Compton and going to USC, and all of a sudden here he is. He's passing. He's putting himself in the all-time great category. Really, really happy for him.
Coach, obviously, you take everything day by day, game by game, but do you start to look a little bit into the future with the young guys? And when you look at a guy, like Neek, and how he's kind of came along throughout the season, and are you having conversations with him about what you want to see from him in the future?
Yeah, yesterday at practice, DeMar, myself, and I think Plowden was there. We were just talking about a lot of different things about how to get to your spot on the offensive side and how to defend on the defensive side, and just DeMar talking, myself, and some questions being asked. Those are the things that we want to take advantage of. Even probably look at him in a couple different ways as the games go on here, as we dwindle him down. Similar, like dropping Max in the post tonight and seeing what he has now. We need to help him and cut and move, which will add another layer. But I thought that he did a good job, made a couple shots. But you know, we gotta find out where it's at, what it can be, let them feel it, so that in the summertime, they understand some of the things that they need to continue to work on to be, you know, take that next step as young players.
I'm not sure if you heard it, but at the end, there's a "we want bogey" chants, and the crowd gets into it a little bit when he checks into the game. Just what does it say about this fan base to still show love to a guy, even though, you know, he's not going to be in the rafters? And as a former player, what does that mean when you get an experience like that?
You know, I never came back after I left, so I don't particularly know me particularly, but I'm back now. But it says, because I've witnessed it many, many times, these fans are as special. That doesn't happen everywhere. It just doesn't. I mean, you come to a place, you play, and you leave, and that. But here, you know, once you're a King, they love you. They wrap their arms around you, and that's what, you know, for me, is part of what drives me to try to figure it out and make sure that we're delivering to them, and ultimately bringing that holy grail piece. Because they truly, truly deserve it. In my opinion, the best fans in the world.
Anyone else? Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,